In the shadows of American history lurk women who shattered the illusion of innocence, turning trust into terror and care into carnage. Welcome to the 5 most dangerous women serial killers in the USA, where we uncover the chilling tales of 5 female predators whose crimes defied stereotypes and left a trail of devastation. From black widows to killer nurses, these stories reveal the dark side of deception and death. Let's dive in. Belle Gunness. In the rugged landscapes of Selbu, Norway, on November 11, 1859, Brynhild Paulsdatter Sturseth entered the world as the youngest of 8 children in a poor stonemason's family. Life was harsh, unforgiving, a grind of labor on neighboring farms from the tender age of 14. But Brynhild dreamed bigger. She saved every penny, her eyes set on the promise of America, the land of opportunity. In 1881, at 22, she boarded a ship bound for New York, processed through Castle Garden, and reinvented herself as Belle. Joining her older sister Nellie in Chicago, Belle worked as a domestic servant, her imposing frame, over 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing up to 250 pounds, making her a force in any household. She even learned the butcher's trade, handling cleavers with unsettling ease. By 1884, Belle had married Mads Ditlev Anton Sørensen, a fellow Norwegian immigrant. They opened a confectionery store, dreaming of stability. But fate, or something darker, intervened. In 1896, their store burned to the ground. Insurance paid out handsomely. Then, in 1898, their home followed suit, another payout. Whispers circulated. Belle had never seemed pregnant, yet 2 of their infants died from acute colitis, symptoms eerily similar to strychnine poisoning. Insurance money flowed in after each tragedy. Mads himself met a mysterious end on July 30th, 1900, the only day his 2 life insurance policies overlapped. Officially, a cerebral hemorrhage from an enlarged heart. But strychnine mimics such symptoms, and Belle collected $8,500, a fortune equivalent to over $300,000 today. No autopsy was performed. The doctor trusted her word. Neighborhood gossip painted her as a black widow, but Belle dismissed it, packing up and heading to LaPorte, Indiana, where she bought a 43-acre pig farm with her windfall. LaPorte was a quiet town, perfect for Belle's next chapter. On April 1st, 1902, she wed Peter Gunness, a widower with 2 daughters. Tragedy struck swiftly. Peter's infant daughter died while alone with Belle, cause unknown. 8 months later, Peter himself perished in a bizarre accident. A sausage grinder allegedly fell from a high shelf, crushing his skull. Belle claimed it was a freak mishap, collecting $3,000 in insurance. A coroner's inquest suspected foul play, but no charges stuck. Peter's older daughter, Jenny Olsen, whom Belle adopted, vanished in 1906. Belle told neighbors Jenny had gone to a finishing school in Los Angeles. In truth, her body would later be unearthed on the farm. Now a wealthy widow, Belle turned to matrimonial ads in Norwegian-language newspapers, penning seductive pleas. Comely widow who owns a large farm in one of the finest districts in LaPorte County, Indiana, desires to make the acquaintance of a gentleman equally well provided with view of joining fortunes. Suitors arrived, cash in hand, lured by promises of love and prosperity. But they never left. Henry Gerholt, a Wisconsin farmer, visited in January 1905 with $1,500. He wrote home of his affection for the farm and Belle, then vanished. Belle told his family he'd joined horse traders heading west, keeping his trunk and fur coat. Belle's methods were calculated and brutal. She likely poisoned her victims with strychnine or arsenic, easy to obtain for rat control on a farm, mixed into meals or coffee. Symptoms: agonizing convulsions, foaming at the mouth, death in hours. For others, a swift blow from an axe or cleaver sufficed, skills honed from her butchering days. Bodies were dismembered, heads severed, arms at shoulders, legs at knees, wrapped in burlap sacks, and buried in shallow graves around the property, under the hog pen near the outhouse by a small lake. The hogs, fed scraps, might have consumed evidence. Trunks piled up in her home, over a dozen, filled with victims' belongings she pawned or kept. John Moe from Elbow Lake, Minnesota, answered an ad in 1906, withdrawing $1,000 before vanishing. Olaf Svenherud, Ola B. Budsberg, Olaf Lindblom, names etched in missing persons reports, their fates sealed on Belle's murder farm. She hired Ray Lamphere as a handyman in 1907, a jealous lover who witnessed her schemes but stayed silent, perhaps complicit. Belle's foster children, Myrtle, Lucy, and Philip, lived in fear, unaware their mother was a monster amassing a fortune through death. As 1908 dawned, Andrew Helgalian from Aberdeen, South Dakota, arrived with $2,900, responding to Belle's urgent letters. Come prepared to stay forever. He did, buried in pieces. But Andrew's brother Assel grew suspicious, tracing letters to Laporte. Belle sensed the noose tightening. She fired Lamphere, accusing him of threats, and visited a lawyer to draft her will, ominously stating, "I'm afraid he's going to burn my house down." On the night of April 27, 1908, flames lit the sky. By morning, the Gunness home was ash. 4 bodies emerged, 3 children charred beyond recognition, and a headless adult woman. Was it Belle? The town buzzed with horror and curiosity. But Asle Helgalian arrived, shovel in hand, demanding answers. What he uncovered would shock the nation. The fire that razed Belle Gunness's farmhouse wasn't just destruction, it was the spark that ignited one of America's most gruesome revelations. As dawn broke on April 28, 1908, neighbors and authorities sifted through the debris. They found 4 bodies, Belle's foster children, Myrtle, 11, Lucy, 9, and Philip, 5, all poisoned and burned. The 4th was a decapitated woman, 5 inches shorter and 50 pounds lighter than Belle's robust frame. No head was recovered, fueling immediate doubts. Was this Belle, or a cleverly planted decoy? Autopsies revealed strychnine in the children's stomachs, but the woman's identity remained a puzzle. Ray Lamphere, Belle's former handyman and spurned lover, was arrested that day, found wearing victim John Moe's overcoat and Henry Gerholt's watch. Charged with arson and murder, he became the scapegoat. But Asle Helgalian, driven by grief for his brother Andrew, refused to leave. Armed with Belle's letters urging Andrew to come prepared to stay forever and burn his correspondence, Asle directed digs in the hog pen. On May 3rd, they struck horror. Andrew's dismembered body, head wrapped in burlap, identified by his brother. The floodgates opened. Over the next days, the farm yielded a macabre harvest. At least 11 partial remains surfaced, men, women, children, butchered with precision, skulls bashed, limbs severed, torsos hacked. Jenny Olson's body, missing since 1906, emerged alongside others. Police found parts of 5 bodies on day 1, 6 more the next, then stopped counting as fragments piled up. Estimates soared, 14 confirmed victims, possibly 40 or more, including Belle's husbands, children, and lured suitors like Ole B. Budsberg, identified, by his sons via dental work, and Olaf Lindblom. The methods screamed calculation, poison for subtlety, axe for finality, dismemberment to hide evidence. Belle had turned her farm into a slaughterhouse, profiting from insurance, stolen cash, and pawned goods, amassing over $30,000, nearly $1 million today. The scene descended into pandemonium. Up to 15,000 curiosity seekers flocked daily, turning the site into a grotesque carnival. Vendors sold popcorn and lemonade, Relic hunters scavenged bones. A local sheriff, possibly bribed by Belle, had turned a blind eye, though unaware of the scale. Lamphere's trial in November 1908 revealed more. Convicted of arson, but acquitted of murder, he confessed on his deathbed in 1910 that Belle had murdered 42 men, using ads to lure them. She allegedly asked him to burn the house with her children inside, planting a victim's body, perhaps a transient woman, to fake her death. Lamphere claimed she withdrew $4,000 from banks days before, fleeing in disguise, perhaps as a man given her build. Did Belle perish in the flames, or orchestrate the ultimate escape? The headless corpse's discrepancies, height, weight, even bridgework not matching Belle's, pointed to deception. Sightings poured in: Chicago, San Francisco, even Norway. In 1931, a woman named Esther Carlson died in Los Angeles, arrested for poisoning a suitor. Photos resembled an aged Belle, but no DNA linked them. Theories abound. She lived as a fugitive, perhaps killing more, or died naturally, her secrets buried. In 2008, University of Indianapolis forensic experts exhumed the body for DNA testing against a letter envelope licked by Belle. Results? Inconclusive due to degraded samples. The enigma endures. Belle Gunness shattered stereotypes. A female killer driven by greed, not passion, one of history's deadliest. Her farm, dubbed Murder Farm, inspired ballads, books like America's Femme Fatale, films such as 2004's Method with Elizabeth Hurley, and podcasts like My Favorite Murder. She remains a chilling reminder: evil wears many faces, even that of a comely widow. Subscribe to True Crime Drop for more unfiltered true crime drops.